Hi, this is Mike Brown, owner of Deathwish Coffee Company. Welcome to Fueled by Deathcast.
I love Jeff, but sweet and hot. Whoop, Mr. Motorama coffee spot.
Deathwish Coffee presents Fueled by Deathcast, the world's strongest podcast. Get ready, the show's about to begin.
Welcome to Fueled by Deathcast. This is episode 130, if you're keeping track from the beginning, or it's season 3, episode 26. And as always, in your ear holes and possibly in your eye holes, I am the incredible Jeff. And I'd love it if you took a second and followed everything we do here on social media. It's really easy to do. You can find at Fueled by Deathcast on Twitter, Instagram, and right on Facebook. I try to post about what, shows are happening, upcoming guests, different questions I have, sometimes pictures of my cat. Who knows what it is, but I'd love it if you followed us over on all the social media. And also, if you're just listening to this podcast on your favorite podcast platform, whether it's iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Music, iHeartRadio, wherever it is, I always got to ask, and I always forget, if you could hit that subscribe button, that is super helpful for this show. It helps more people find this show when they're looking for new podcasts to find. And also, if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever it is, leave us a review. If you like what you hear, you like what you see, leave us a review, and that absolutely helps the show and the visibility and the listenability of everything as well, too. So thank you so much for your support of everything I get to do here at Fueled by Deathcast. And this show, this podcast, everything we do would be nothing without the voice of death himself, Brock Powell. You can follow Brock everywhere on social media at brockvox.com. You can also go to brockvox.com. He is the voice actor on this show and 1,000 voices out there in the world. I just got to see him. I went out to L.A. recently to chronicle some really exciting stuff that Deathwish is going to be a part of. We are sending our coffee back to the International Space Station via a student-run science experiment. What? I'll be talking about that a lot more. But I got the chance while I was out there to catch up with Brock, and we're always got ideas. We got some great stuff we're going to do for this show. But like I said, it'd be nothing without the voice of death, Mr. Brock Powell. I love him.
Secret code unlocked. Discount of death.
You heard Brock right there. If you are a listener or a viewer of this very show, you get a special discount code. All one word, discount of death. Or, I should just stop saying that one altogether because I want you to use discount of Jeff. All one word, discount of Jeff. Type that in at checkout at deathwishcoffee.com and you'll get 12% off every order you make. And that's for coffee. That's for our merchandise. That's for whatever you see on the site. And we're coming out with new stuff all the time. Summer is here and we've got some really, really great stuff coming out this summer and the fall and the winter and next year. I can't wait for you guys to see it all. And 12% off just for being a fan of Fueled by Deathcast. Go on over, make your purchase, and write at checkout. In that discount code area, type in all one word, discount of death or discount of Jeff. I want to take a second and shout out some of the friends of our show who have actual shows of their own. First and foremost is Ricky Rahman. You probably recognize Ricky Rahman as the host of MTV's Headbangers Ball, but Ricky also was the co-conspirator behind one of the most infamous rock clubs ever to have existed, the Cat House. And he now has a podcast all about it called the Cat House Hollywood Podcast. You can find it wherever podcasts are found. And he tells every other week a story about that infamous club. That club broke some of the biggest names in rock and roll. Literally, Guns N' Roses was the house band of this club. But no cameras were ever allowed inside the club. And this was way before smartphones and tweeting and all that kind of stuff. So basically, whatever happened on any given night in that club stayed in that club until now. Now Ricky's telling us all the crazy stories that happened there, and he's got a bunch of incredibly awesome special guests that you're not going to want to miss. So tune into the Cat House Hollywood podcast, wherever podcasts are found. Also, friend of the show, the singer of Exodus, Steve Souza, Zetro. He has a web series on YouTube called Zetro's Toxic Vault. Zetro's Toxic Vault. You can go on over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button so you subscribe to his channel, and you get the new videos all the time. And you get to join Zetro in his Toxic Vault as he tells stories from the road. He tells old school stories of playing with Exodus and all other different types of metal bands. He tells some news stories. He has special guests on, and he happens to like a certain coffee that he drinks all the time on that show too, and he's doing contests and all sorts of fun stuff. It is a lot of fun to see what he comes up with all the time, every single new episode. So go hit that subscribe button on YouTube for Zetro's Toxic Vault. Finally, friend of the show and actually helped Fueled by Deathcast become what it is today, Matthew Hendershot. He used to work for Google right here in New York City, but now he has moved to Germany. And along with a few friends over there, he started a brand new show called I'll Take a Shot at That, where they basically are talking about figuring out life in a foreign country they've never lived in before and how to do all the normal things that we take for granted, and they're going to take a shot at that. But while they do that, they, of course, take shots of liquor. So it makes me very thirsty listening to this show, but it's awesome, and they get into some trouble. They get into a lot of fun, and it's really cool to hear what Matt's been up to while he's been living in Germany. So wherever podcasts are found, tune in to I'll Take a Shot at That. This week is another Deathwish Coffee Company Employee Series episode, and this one is a doozy because welcoming back to the show for the third time is creator, founder, CEO, and fearless leader of Deathwish Coffee Company, Mike Brown. Mike now holds the record for the most times on this show outside of myself and Brock, because we're on every single one. But Mike this is his third time because I love getting Mike on every year to kind of check in with, you know, what's happening with the company, what's happened in the last year, what he feels, you know, is good, is bad, what's on his mind, kind of pick his brain. And I also ask him a lot of questions from fans of Fueled by Deathcast. So maybe one of your questions I asked Mike, because again, follow Fueled by Deathcast on all social media, because I put out the call to action right on Facebook and on Instagram. I was like, any question you guys want to ask Mike, you let me know, and I'll pick some of the best and ask him on the show. And I did. So we talk about all that kind of stuff. And he reveals some incredibly big news that surprised everyone here at the company, but that's why we love Mike, and you guys are going to love it. So mugs up this week for this week's death guest, our fearless leader, Mike Brown.
The Fueled by Death guest.
Mike, you now hold the record. You are this is number 3 for you on the show. So you have been on the show more than anybody except for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that coming into this.
So, you now 3 times.
Hold on, how many times has Zach been on this? Like,
Twice.
all right.
Only twice. So you even beat out Zach Wild.
Wow.
Take that, Zach Wild. Well, thanks for sitting down. I love getting you on every year because we kind of like check in about how the company's been doing over the last year, what you've been doing, what we've been up to, what's kind of in the future. And also, it gives us a chance to kind of, I canvassed our amazing community, and I got some pretty cool questions from a lot of them, so we're going to get to those too. I do want to start off by talking about some of the stuff that has been happening this last year that we're really excited about. The first thing I want to talk about is we talked about this the last time you were on the show, which I think was just about a year ago. I think it was last June.
I think so.
And we were talking about how we were creating a new coffee truck, and we were excited. We didn't know what it was gonna like really be, but we were really excited about it, and now it's here.
Finally.
What do you think of this beast that's parked out in our parking lot now?
I mean, I think that they must have put that thing together screw by screw because it took so long for that truck to arrive.
Yeah, it really did. It really did. But I mean, it's pretty impressive.
It is. It looks impressive. It's doing the job. You know, when we received it, it wasn't perfect, but we've done some test events since it's come in, and we've made a lot of improvements to it after we received it. And I think by 2020, we'll probably I'll be very confident with it, and we'll actually like send it out more than a couple times. You know what I mean? We'll probably have like a small team dedicated to it. Right now, I'm only planning on sending it out to a couple events this year because, you know, it's a big truck and we're learning a lot every time we bring it out. You know, there's events that we can't take this thing to because it's too big. Yeah, it would take up two truck spaces.
It's 28 feet long. It's got the ability to serve coffee out of it and merchandise, and we're still learning how to juggle that and do all that. And we, like you said, we've done a couple little events in our backyard, which has been, I think, pretty successful already.
Yeah, I think so. And the community has been giving us a good response. But, you know, we're going to walk before we run with this thing. And I think that's a good strategy. Eventually, you know, I'd like all of our customers to get to see this in their neighborhood, in their cities. So we'll see. If you guys have a location where you want to see the truck, let us know. You know, we'll take note of it, and when we're putting together our event schedule for 2020, you know, hopefully we can put that event or that city on it.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited because I think this truck is going to be something that's going to last us for, like, the last truck we had, we kind of cob jobbed from I think it was an old bookmobile.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was my friend's company, and man, this guy's smart. He always runs these like genius companies, and they were just, I don't know what the whole business model was, but they're basically just buying back books from college kids. I don't know how they made money, but they're just giving money away. But they did somehow.
Well, I just think that, like, with this truck, because we built it to our specs and it's for what it's for, I think we're going to have this for years and years and years. And as we do more events, those will breed more places to go and more events to do. And I think it's just going to be awesome.
Yeah, maybe we can find maybe we can make, it's so big, maybe we can put like the podcast in there and take it on the road every once in a while.
I've said this to Mike, and I'm going to say it on camera so we have it on record. If you want to put bunk beds in that, I will literally take it across country and live in it.
I think we can, so we have these big merch holders, right? Yep. Which are, right now we don't have any merch in it, but I bet you we can make those fold out into beds.
I
don't know what the health department would say about that if we're sleeping where we're making coffee, so we'll have to double check that. But maybe we can make a divider.
Maybe we can make a divider, fueled by death across America. I think I would, and I'd chronicle the whole thing on the show. I'm in.
All right, I like that idea. Maybe we can get one of those antennas that look like the news truck has, from. I'm trying to think like what I've seen it in. Maybe Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah. Definitely. No, 100%. I'm in. If you guys are in, I'm coming to your town. Nice. The other thing we were talking about last year, and it is finally just around the corner, and I got 2 cans of it, is our brand new cold brew that's like coming out like in a week.
Yeah, this is due to be released June 15th, but don't hold me to that. But that's our goal, and I think we can hit it.
Yeah.
What's today, anyways?
We're recording this on the 7th, so yeah, and this is coming out.
Yeah, so hopefully this can, hopefully it'll be out in time. It's all in right now. We're just packaging it up, shipping it back out. Yeah, it's a great product. It took us a long time to develop it.
Can you talk a little bit about the process of developing this? Because, I mean, I think that's interesting. A lot of people, we came out with a cold brew. To begin with, this is a completely different product, and it's not just like we went to a company and said, make us a cold brew, and that happened. There was a big process behind that.
Yeah, there was a vetting process too. We wanted to find the best co-producer that we could find.
Of course.
We don't make this in-house, but we do work with basically the best of the best to make the best product for you. And then once we found that production partner, it just went through like samplings and
so many taste
tests and small like market studies, is that what you call them, where you have other people try them.
Yep.
And there's so many like food and beverage regulations that you have to follow, and we made sure we follow those to a T. And I don't know, it's a great product. I'm really excited about the customer's response to it.
Me too. I can't wait to hear what people think of this.
Yeah, because I mean, I don't know, it's something you work so hard on for so long, and you hopefully you're releasing people like, yeah, this really embodies, what we think Deathwish coffee should be in a cold brew form. It isn't a nitro brew.
Yeah, can we talk? I know that's a huge question in the community because our first one was a nitro brew, and this is not. And what kind of the difference of that is?
Yeah, we moved away from that because we wanted a more pure form, a pure taste of the coffee. The nitro, when it was in there, it did add like a velvety touch to it. Mm-hmm. And to be quite honest, there are some great nitro brews out there right now, and maybe in the future we'll move that direction. But for this one, we're like, oh, let's just like capture, what Deathwish coffee is all about in terms of flavor and strength. And I think we did a great job. We also have 3 versions this time, which is a little different than the first time around, and we have a different size can. So we had I think 11-ounce can when we released the nitro brew,
the fatter, shorter can.
Yeah, it was too much for me. It was too much for a lot of people. They were like, "Yeah, we got to drink this in halves." So we're like, "Why don't we just make an 8-ounce can?" This one is just as strong, if not stronger.
300 milligrams of caffeine per can. Now, we've tried all 3 of these. Coming out of the gate, obviously the black is coming out, and then the slightly sweet is coming out. And then later this year, we're releasing a latte version, which I'm really excited about as well. And you've tried all 3. Do you have a favorite?
I mean, I'm a purist. I like the black. But honestly, even the slightly sweet one, I taste it, and it's not even... Can I open this?
Yeah, I mean, they're not cold, but why not? Yeah.
All right. I don't know if like these are like... I don't know.
Just I don't know. I took them off the shelf. Like, you own the darn company. You can do whatever you want.
even the slightly sweet one is it's not. I don't know. It's not overpoweringly sweet. It only has 5 grams of added sugar and 9 grams of total sugar or total carbohydrates. God, that's good. Yeah. There's only how many sugar is in here? Is it 5 grams or 9 grams?
I think it's 5 grams.
5 grams.
Yeah, I think it's really, really small. And I like them both. I like the I'm a purist too, though. I really like the black, but that's slightly sweet. It's not. I definitely do not like an overly sweet anything when it comes to coffee. I used to be a cappuccino drinker, like before, like when I was a kid. Because it's literally dessert. It's like the most sugary.
And the latte version is. The ones that the samples I've tried, the reason we haven't released the latte version yet is we haven't found, we're still formulating it and it's not 100% perfect yet. And what I mean by that is I think it's a little too sweet, and I think a couple people think it's a little too sweet as well. And we wanted to have, we want you to be able to taste the Deathwish coffee in it and to be like, oh yeah, this is Deathwish coffee with a little cream and some sugar, and this is how I make it at home. This is how I want to drink it. So we made 3 different versions because there's basically 3 different taste profiles out there. Yeah, in our customer base. So
I think it's really exciting. I also want to say, as a fan of the product, I think that this is truer to form than the nitro. I liked the nitro brew that we came out, the original cold brew, but it was very different than Deathwish coffee because of that velvety nitro, thing in there. This, I feel, is as close to, a hot cup of Deathwish coffee as you can get, only in a cold version. I think it's so on brand. I'm just so excited about it.
Yeah, it's great. The nitro, I don't know. The nitro, when you put nitro gas in something, it is a gas, and most gases have flavor, and nitrogen does too, to an extent. So you did taste that a little bit, and some people would say it gave it a slightly sweet taste, and I'd agree. But without it, I think it's more pure and I like it better personally.
I do too. And what are your plans? The other question that is on everybody's lips is, what are your plans? For the product. We're obviously releasing it online first, but do you see this in stores everywhere? Do you want this in, like, where do you see the cold brew in the next year or 3 years down the road?
down the road, I see this product everywhere. I see it in your gas stations,
Yes.
in your convenience stores, in your grocery store, coolers, hopefully at the registers. The amazing team here at Deathwish Coffee has been doing a great job of expanding our distribution network. So all of our customers are going to be able to get our product faster, easier, simpler. I mean, that's the whole thing for us. Is like whatever we want to make it as convenient for you as possible to get the products you love. And they've been doing an amazing job at it. And I think we're going to probably take this as far as we can domestically first before even thinking about anything international.
Right.
I believe, I could be wrong, but it does have a little bit too much caffeine for some international markets. So we're going to have to kind of hold off on some of those and do our research before we decide to take it international. But yeah, a fantastic product.
I can't wait to see it everywhere.
Strong. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I have this like anticipation for it it's calm, but it's like you just kind of like want it to just been waiting for so long.
Yeah. But we've been,
and I know you guys have too. So,
and I think that's what's great though is like we took our time, we made sure that we had a product that we're really, really proud of, and we're taking our time on the retail side of it too. You know, I mean, I'm with you. In 3 to 5 years, I see this everywhere, gas stations, at the counters, everywhere. But that just takes longer. You know,
Yeah.
It's nice with e-commerce. We can be like, we're going to release this, and we put it up on, you know, our channels on e-commerce, and we can do that. But it will start to trickle into retail, and I think that'll be really exciting.
right. And there's already talks of like different sizes for these.
Right.
I might make even a smaller version that you can kind of just take a shot and take on your day.
Shots. That'll be
A
great.
larger version for, inside your fridge. You can just kind of like pour out for your
Ooh.
husband or wife in the morning.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, so there's options out there.
Awesome.
And we're thinking about them. It's not like we dragged our feet to get this out either. Man, we worked hard.
Yeah.
And it was just a very intense selection process
Yeah.
to find the right person. And
One of the coolest things about working at this company is, and I mean this sincerely, is that we don't settle. With any product ideation, with any piece of merchandise, with any new type of, consumable, we're not just, let's get it out there for the masses because it seems like a good idea. We vet all sorts of stuff, even down to our t-shirts. We vet like the quality of the t-shirt, the feel of it on, like we get all sorts of different samples. And I really think that that's true to what Deathwish Coffee is all about, and what you've always said, fueling people's passions. We want you to be passionate
Yes.
about what we make, so we're passionate about it. We're passionate about making it, and I think that's awesome.
yeah, we need to be passionate.
Yeah, exactly.
The caffeine's hitting me right now.
Yes, yes. I kind of wanted to touch upon.
Fueling my passion.
Yes, exactly. I kind of wanted to touch upon, speaking on the cold brew side of it as well, what your thoughts have been about retail. We have now, since we talked from last year, our wholesale, our retail has blossomed. I mean, just last year when we were talking, we were thinking, man, I hope this works. We were just starting to ink those deals with Walmart. We were just putting it out into a wholesale portal and getting us like on shelves and different things. And like, man, I hope people like it. And now, what do you think of our retail?
I mean, it was
space?
always a big question mark for me because I try to put myself in the customer's shoes all the time, and it's like, okay, do they love this product because it has that exclusivity factor, or do they love it because it's a great product, or do they love it because it's got a skull and crossbones on it, and it kind of fits in with their identity, and they don't want anyone else to have it, and we had to look back at our company values for this, and our number one value here is customers' experience, and enhancing the value, like how much value can we deliver to them, and we had to think through it and be like, hey, if we had this product, if we were the customer of this product, which we are, I drink it every day, but
Yep.
but the good thing about me is I can get it whenever I go to work.
Right.
But if I didn't work for Deathwish Coffee or own Deathwish Coffee, and I loved it, and I ran out of coffee one day, how pissed would I be that I'd have to like go online, order it, wait 3 days for it to be delivered, and then I don't know about you, but I don't like waiting.
Nope.
For anything.
No.
So it just made so much sense. Okay, let's roll this out to these stores. They're asking for it. Our customers are asking for it. They want it. And I mean, did I think that it was gonna our distribution network was gonna grow like it did? No, absolutely not. But we are having some pretty, I guess, the thing is, I'm so like green to the wholesale world. Like, and by wholesale, I just mean grocery store. I'm like an e-commerce guy. I sell online. So when we started moving into these stores, we had to bring in consultants to help us because we don't want to be, we're a small company. We don't want to be like taken advantage of by these like large grocery
Walmart conglomerate type things. Yeah.
But to be quite honest, Walmart's been fantastic to work with.
Incredible.
Very transparent, very fair. And you don't hear that often from a small business, but they have been. And same thing with all of our grocery store partners. And I believe we probably have like 35 now. And I'm not gonna be able to name them all.
No, I know.
But we're gonna be in, by the end of the year, over 10,000 grocery stores across the country.
Wow.
Which is,
I didn't know that number. Wow, that's incredible.
10,000. I think we are in 7,000 now. And here we have some big ones coming on board. Kroger is starting up soon. So if you live near Kroger, and hopefully it's okay that I'm saying that.
No, we've already announced that. We've definitely already announced that. We're excited we're just finalizing.
I got notes here, so it's like what I should and should not say, but I just put it away because I was like, well, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just going to roll with it.
It's
cool. I can't get in that much trouble.
No,
right?
Of course not. Who's going to get you in trouble?
That's right.
I'm going to put the link in here too. I believe it's deathwishcoffee.com/stores. You can go. We have a store locator on our website, and as we add new stores, you can kind of find out where it is near you. And it's funny, like, speaking on the Walmart side of it, we push back on Walmart. I mean, just when I started here a couple of years ago, it was on the table. And I remember you being like, I don't know if it's the right move for such a small business being in something like that, and it's like people look at it and it's like, oh, did you sell out now that you're in Walmart? But I've heard it from the community, like you said, like not waiting. Like people who are even on our coffee subscription will run out because like their in-laws came in for the weekend or whatever and drank them out of all their Deathwish coffee, and then they can just.
The exact thing happened to me the other day.
Yeah, exactly.
And Walmart was closer than the warehouse, so I went to Walmart, and I felt a little weird buying the product, but. It's all good.
That's really funny. But I mean, I think that really adds to the customer experience, like you said, and it's exciting to see retail grow as much as it is. And that kind of leads me into a line of questions we got from our incredible community. We have this community on our social media channels, especially on Facebook, on that official Deathwish Coffee community page over there on Facebook, which is, I think, almost like 4,500 people now, which is just insane. It's just like, it's crazy to even think about it. And they're all so amazing because it's just all brought together for a love of this little product that you came up with.
I know. But it's even though I came up with it, I don't know. I feel like it's not my product anymore. It is. It is their product.
Yeah.
It is your product. It's a team's product.
Yeah.
I kind of get when I get credit for it, I almost feel like very sheepish and almost like, I don't know what the word is. It's actually I was just reading something in a book where it was very like it was like the difference. I'm not even going to try to say it, but anyways, it was basically, the guy who starts the company really has nothing to do with the success of it. It's the combined force of everything around it: the market conditions, the customers, the team that's developed, a lot of timing. So it basically just said like the CEO and the founder basically has nothing to do with the success of the company or how a product does. And I don't know, that made a lot of sense to me. So
that's funny.
Thank you guys, and thank you, Jeff, and the team. So
oh hell yeah. And that kind of what I want to start with is a question from Michael Korenberg on Facebook. And actually, it's not just Michael. I saw this from multiple people. And it was, what caused the creation and founding of Deathwish Coffee? Now, I want to preface this by saying we have talked about this before. On this very podcast, we also got the incredible chance to do a talk at Google Remember that?
Oh, yeah, that's
that was
right.
a lot of fun, and
should
you can find
Google
that right.
that.
Yep, you can Google our talks at Google, and we break down. We really go into depth about really the creation of it. But I always think it's great to kind of have fresh eyes on it. Can we do like kind of like the cliff notes of the creation?
Hopefully I don't keep changing the story. No, I'm just kidding. No, it was pretty simple. I owned a coffee shop in Saratoga Springs called Saratoga Coffee Traders that I bought in 2008. And I ran that into the ground pretty quick. Didn't know how to run a business. But I did learn a lot of valuable lessons. In 2011, I was making things meet. Making ends meet for a while, but I did have to borrow money from my mom and have some lifestyle changes. But
no more Guitar Hero.
Yeah, exactly. No more Guitar Hero. Had to sell a few things. But anyways, around 2011, I started reading up on. Actually, let me preface that. My customers would always come in and ask for the strongest coffee, right? And then I decided to get online. I Googled, what is the world's strongest coffee? There was nothing out there. At that point, I was like, well, Christ, I've been working in this coffee shop for so long and it hasn't really been that busy. So I've been doing a lot of research and I know how to make a strong coffee. Put together the strongest coffee I could find, tried it out on my customers. They liked it, gave me great reviews. And at the same time, this is what I was going to say before. At the same time, I was reading up on e-commerce and studying because I needed to make ends meet and I needed to make a couple bucks online. I think I need to make $5,000 a month to make ends meet at the coffee shop. So once I had this product that the customers were raving about in my coffee shop, I made this website and made this brand. It actually looks totally different.
Oh yeah,
back then than it does now. But
you can find those original logos online. Yeah,
it's kind of embarrassing. But anyways, I started selling it online and got some great reviews. It really started as I don't even know how to describe it. Almost like a very, very slow process of we sold one bag of coffee. A month later, we sold another bag. A month later, we sold two. But the good thing was, the sales kept coming in and they kept coming in at a quicker rate and they started to snowball a bit. And I think the most surprising thing for me and the moment when I knew I had something special was the reviews I was getting from the customers, how this coffee was changing their lives and it was the best coffee they ever had. And I was hearing things from the online communities that I was hearing from my customers in the store, and I was like, all right, this, now we have something here. And that's how it started.
And then it just
a slow progression,
snowballed from there. A question I never asked you: how long was the mad scientist moment for you with this product? Because you were figuring out not only how to start a business, but you were also figuring out how to come up with this incredible blend of coffee. And so how long did it take you from ideation to getting to the point where you have the recipe that became Deathwish coffee? Do you know that?
Do I know it off no, I don't. Let me think. It wasn't that long.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think it was that long. It
was a eureka moment?
It was probably a few weeks. I knew enough about... I knew what... Actually, there was a eureka moment.
Really?
Yes, thanks for bringing that up. When I was in... I think it was Boston. It was Boston or Seattle at the SCA conference. Yep. I was walking the floor, and the SCA conference is a Specialty Coffee Association conference, and they have this big trade show once a year where they have different farmers come in from different countries with their coffee beans, packaging. It's a giant trade show with anything coffee you'd ever imagine. Oh, there's just one aisle where there really wasn't much going on, and I was walking down it, and they had this table, looked just like this, a table, and the people behind it were from India, and they had this Indian Robusta coffee, and I had heard Robusta coffee is it's more than double the caffeine. It doesn't taste very good, and you hear all these things, and it's not even specialty coffee, and you hear all these bad things about it because at the time, the whole specialty third wave coffee movement was kind of shitting on Robusta coffee.
Yeah.
Even though it has some very, very great qualities. You know, it's high in antioxidants. It's easily grown. It's resistant to disease. It's, you know, it has a lot of good things about it. Anyways, we're up to this table and they had some AirPods out. I tried it and it was the best coffee I had at the entire show. And I was like, oh, well, at least for me.
Yeah.
Everyone's taste is different. And I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. And then, like, I think as I was leaving that show, I put two and two together. Like, okay, I'm trying to make this strong coffee for my customers. This is the strongest coffee I've had here, and it tastes amazing. I'm like, I'm going to contact these people. And actually, I don't think I went through them because their product wasn't organic and fair trade, but I found an organic and fair trade supplier of a very similar bean. And that's pretty much when Deathwish started, once I got those in.
Wow. And that is the eureka moment. And it's cool because, like, at that time, like you said, there really was this stigma against Robusta.
Yeah, and there still is to this day to an extent, but
I think, though, this company, especially obviously putting into the coffee conversation, let's call it, we really kind of started that world's strongest coffee kind of conversation. We got that conversation rolling, and now there's other incredible companies doing stuff and everything.
Absolutely.
But I think on the other side of it, we kind of got Robusta back into the conversation as well, because there weren't hardly any companies utilizing that bean. And now, I think because of us, people are kind of looking at it in a different light.
Yeah, there's a market for it now. And I mean, it's a very important bean for the coffee industry as well.
Yeah.
I guess they're making hybrid versions now.
Which is crazy.
Because, I mean, like I said, it's resistant to disease. Unfortunately, Arabica beans are very perceptive to disease, and you know, with climate change, you know, that's affecting some of their crops. And luckily, you've had like record output years of coffee. Recently, but that could change if, you know, global warming continues. And I'm not an expert on that, so I'm not going to try to speak on it at all.
Of course. But the science behind it is crazy too. You know, just last year they broke the genome. They broke down the genome for Robusta, so now we know the true origins of Arabica and the true origins of Robusta. And like you said, they're making these crazy hybrid plants now that can do all sorts of different things. It's awesome. It's it's stuff that I don't even understand, but it's really, really rad. So let's keep going here with some questions. Here's one that I thought was interesting. Daniel Rader said, "What do you think has been the biggest failure for this company?"
God damn it, Daniel. There's no failures. There's very expensive lessons that we learn, but I don't think there's any real failures.
That's really good.
Honestly, if we pick a bad vendor, that's usually a failure, and that's on me for not doing my homework. And usually that results in like a poor product that we put out that we didn't see a flaw in, or a time when a customer or a group of customers get angry with us because they're like, "Hey, why'd you put this out?" I don't know, something didn't work out. They didn't like something about it, and we're like, "Oh my god, why didn't we see that?"
Right.
And we'll go and like refund the customers for those purchases. But I mean, yeah, picking a poor vendor and not doing our homework behind them before we get into business with them and checking all the references, that could be expensive.
But like you said,
I mean, that's like a regular course of business. Like every business has to deal with that.
You have to make mistakes
to
kind of have success, you know?
Right. So any like real failures? I don't know.
I like that answer.
I don't think of them as failures if they are.
Expensive mistakes.
I mean, every day I make a small mistake, probably.
Yeah. No, I really like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Here's a great one from Will McCain, also on Facebook. Being so customer friendly in a world full of bad customer experiences, what drives your ideas to consistently give back to your customer base? And on that, what ways do you think you will continue to build on improving your already industry-leading customers' experience?
Wow, thanks.
I know, right? That's some
high
praise
a real
right
question.
there.
Did you write that?
No, that was Will McCain. I not prompted.
Thanks, Will, for telling us we have a great customer service. No, we do have a great customer service team here. Caden leads it. We also got Mike and Christine, and they're amazing. They come in every day.
It's amazing.
Work hard and do amazing work. They do. So I think it's partly them that, you know, put that great customer service forward every single day and are consistent about it and come in with a smile and leave with a smile. Customer service isn't always the easiest job. You know, not everyone is super nice to our customer service team when they have problems. True. And I told them in the beginning, you know, put yourself in the customer's shoes. You don't want to have like a shitty experience with a company that you're like you're forking over your hard-earned money, right? Your $20 that you probably worked an hour and a half for, and it's like that's that right there that's a big extension of trust. And for a company well, I would never do it, but it's happened to me. Like for a company to after you extend that trust to give them your hard-earned money, if they don't provide an equal or greater value back to you, like, I don't know, then there's like a little betrayal there. And we try to think of it like that. So if a customer ever calls us and they're not 100% happy with the purchase or their experience, I told them, like, do whatever it takes, make them happy. Like, make them happy. We want them to leave. And if they're not a customer of ours going forward, let's have them have something nice to say about us to their friends and family or others, or at least nothing bad to say,
Right.
But customer experience and customer satisfaction, that's the number one value here. So it's really something we drive home every single day. So what are we going to continue to do in the future? I mean, it's top of mind. It's top of mind in every meeting.
Yeah.
So there's no shortage of ideas. I wish I could say I come up with them, but it's usually the customer service team, the marketing team, Jeff to some extent, our sales team. Like, they're the ones coming up with the ideas to make the experience better. But I will tell you one thing, what I want to see, and I'm going to make it happen. And I haven't talked this over with anyone yet.
Hey, you're hearing it first.
But yeah, I haven't even talked it over with Keith, our CFO.
Yay,
so
I love
I
these
might, but it's something I'm committed to, and I'm going to make it happen soon. And I don't know how much it's going to cost the company. It's probably going to cost us a fortune. But
what is it?
But I don't think we should be charging for shipping anymore. Like shipping on our website, Amazon doesn't charge for shipping. And people can go to Amazon right now and buy our product for $20. But then when you go to a Deathwish site, you have to, if you buy a bag of coffee, you have to pay for the coffee plus shipping. I don't know. That doesn't seem fair to me. I know Amazon has, the size and the
right
and all, the logistics to make that happen. We probably don't. But at the same time, I put myself in the customer's shoes. And I'm thinking, hey, if I go to this website over this website, it shouldn't make a difference. We're getting the same product.
Right.
I shouldn't pay more when I go to the home site.
Right. I love it. So
yeah.
Maybe in the future we're gonna.
It's not maybe. It's gonna happen. It's definitely gonna happen. It's gonna happen soon. Whenever this airs, I'll make sure it happens by that day.
Oh my gosh! Well, this is airing next week, so
I'll make it happen by then.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. That is absolutely amazing. I love hearing stuff like that because, that was really striking to me. Again, as someone who saw this company on the outside and then was, hired by you just a couple years ago, from the get-go. And I've heard your story 1,000 times of how you started the company. From the very beginning, that's always been number one on your list of values is customer experience, customer trust, and customer satisfaction. And I think that is one of the reasons why you've seen so much success with this company, honest to God, because you are making sure, because at the end of the day, sure, you can put out a good product. Sure, you can make profit on that product. Sure, you can do all these other things. You can lead to new products and you can do all these other things. But at the end of the day, you still need a customer to buy the product.
Right,
should be.
Well, why do you buy a product?
One.
Why do you buy? I buy a product from people who I like, right? Companies that I like. I care about their values. I care about whatever. I like their stores. I either like their website or I don't know, or it's just it just feels like it's a good fit, Yeah. It's not always, I don't know. It doesn't always go down to the product level. Sometimes it goes a little bit beyond that. Even if I like a product, like, oh man, I'm not going to tell you the name of the shoe company, but I bought this, I was wearing these shoes forever and I had one bad experience with, they shipped my shoes to the wrong address and I tried to get a refund. They're like, oh my God, they just put me through the ringer. And I'm like, oh man. I love these shoes, and I'm never going to be a customer of these shoes ever again. It's like...
Because it's the customer journey. It's the customer experience.
I'm like, these guys don't even care about me.
Yep.
And I'm like, wow, lesson learned. Like, from now on, I want every one of these customers to know that we care about you, and we are thinking about you with every decision we make to, make this company better.
Yes, and I love it. I absolutely love it. Okay, so here's an interesting question from Ryan Pomeroy, again on Facebook. With coffee prices generally declining over the past 2 years and the rising popularity of coffee shops like coffee traders and things, have you considered opening up Deathwish coffee shops or stores, brick and mortar stuff around the nation to help meet the growing demand we are seeing?
You know, I was just in New York City, and every coffee shop there, about 90% of them are Starbucks. We're packed. You know what I mean? And even up here, you know, it is busy. There are a lot of coffee shops opening up. It is a tough business model. I've been in it before.
Yeah. It's a whole other model.
But yeah, it is something we're exploring. I don't want to say any definites yet, but it's something that we're looking at hard, and we may do a few. What do you call them? Like test
pop-up
stores?
shops.
Yeah, we may open a pop-up shop,
like a test kind of
like test it out, see what, like, if you know. Do you guys like just getting your coffee at the grocery store? Do you like having it delivered at home, or do you want to come out to the coffee shops, like meet the team, and you know, get the Deathwish experience there? And what does that experience look like?
Right. I mean,
so there's
that's so much fun to think about.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's really fun to think
what the
about.
Inside of our store will look like.
Oh man. So, yeah, that's the fun part to think
Yeah.
about. And it's like all the other stuff that goes with it. That's when you kind of have to like be like, okay, who are we gonna put on this? Is it gonna be great? Is it gonna be able to deliver the experience we want?
Yeah.
You know, I think it will.
I think so. This is already out there. The press has already talked about it. We are actively exploring this exact idea of a brick and mortar Deathwish type store right in our backyard in Albany, because honestly, that's the easiest way to do it, rather than, you know, we're going to open one in Seattle across the country or something. You know, like, I mean, if we try this model, I think the best way to do it would be right down the road, so we can kind of be hands-on and see how it works and see kind of where it goes from there.
Yeah, and this wasn't something that was planned. Actually, it was planned, but it wasn't planned for a few years down the road. But New York State has some great programs right now that we're working with to kind of speed this process up. And you know, it's exciting for us. You know, hopefully we get what we need to make it happen.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll test out some concepts. We'll try it out. We'll see the reaction we get, and I mean, if it's successful, we'll duplicate it and, you know, move to the next city. And same thing, let us know, you know, what cities you'd like to see a Deathwish coffee shop in the future. Like I said, it's probably gonna be years. It's not gonna be like tomorrow.
But it is cool that we are toying with the idea and thinking about it, because, you know, just 2 years ago you would have been like, hell no. Yeah. You know, like that's not even on my radar. I'm not thinking about
same
that.
thing at the grocery stores. You know, hey, I want a cup of coffee. I'm at work. Okay, I'm not going to go to the grocery store, buy a bag, bring it back to the office.
Right.
I don't know. But if there's a coffee shop down the street, I'll swing in.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so a couple quick rapid fire questions here. One from Gail Dunmeyer. Again on Facebook, and you probably all know Gail,
I love Gail.
if you're part of the official page. She asks, what type of future collaborations or partnerships are you considering? Anything that is like, obviously we have NDAs with stuff that we're working on, so we can't talk about some of those.
What? I don't even know. Oh boy.
But anything in your brain that you like, man, I'd love to collaborate and make something like that happen?
Boy, I mean, if we find like collaborations that fit within our values and our purpose, you know, fuel people's passion, that's what we want to do. If we can find products that kind of have that same impact with their customer base, those are the ones we think about. I mean, we have the vodka already. We've played with beer in the past.
That was another question actually from Jason Eckert. Do you think we'd ever come back with the beer?
With some type of beer? I mean, I'm not going to shut it down. It's something that I'm open to. I wasn't open to it the first time around, but you know, the team really wanted to do it, so I was like, all right, let's give it a try, and it turned out to be much more. I don't know. It turned out to be much better for me and for the company, I think, than I realized initially. So I'm open to it, but there's nothing planned. There's nothing in the works right now.
I've told people this before too. Like, we partnered with a local brewery, Old Saratoga, which now is defunct, unfortunately, and that's why we don't do the beer anymore. But it was a really interesting experience to have, you know, locally, and they had some distribution.
The community loved it.
Yeah,
I learned a lot about like their industry.
Yeah, but it is, again, a whole other monster to have a coffee product and now have to do an alcohol-based product and all of the legalese and all of the, you know, stuff that goes in with that. So I like that we think about it.
Yeah.
It's not something that we're just like, let's do it immediately, you know. Like,
Gail, tell us what you want to see.
Yeah, exactly.
Please. You hold a lot of credibility in this.
Yeah, I mean, if
and in this company. So.
Exactly. So let us know, Gail. Here's a fun one from Timmy Medley across the pond.
Oh, I love Timmy.
He asked if we have any pet names for our roasting machines.
I don't know.
I don't think we do.
No, I think they do,
Oh,
actually.
we'd have to ask Dave and,
You know
and
what?
Anthony.
I didn't bring my phone in here. But I could text Dave right now and he'd tell me. I think they do have a name because they have like pictures on like around the roasters.
Yeah, I know that our old hopper, which was
maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Which was basically the big stainless steel thing that would funnel all of the coffee into like the K-cup machines and stuff like that. We had pictures of Dennis Hopper on those, and they were the Dennis Hoppers all over
maybe
the place.
That's what it was.
But yeah, I know.
I mean, I call them 35 and 70. I mean,
there you go.
Not a pet name. It's just
We'll have to come up with some names if we don't. If we do, I'll report back to you,
like,
Timmy.
yo, how's that 35 run in?
Jamie Matthews Hustis, I hope I got that right, from Facebook, said that she loves seeing the strong female mugs that we've been doing. And do we think that we're going to continue doing strong female characters on our mugs and T-shirts and more merchandise?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
It's a great idea. I love seeing this kind of stuff, because sky's the limit with what we get to create. And we have Thomas Dragonetti like at the helm of that, and basically just
I actually have much less of a role probably than anyone thinks in like
In
the
ideation.
stuff we put out. So anyone's like, "Do you think this is a good idea?" I'm like, "Yeah, sounds like a great.
Sounds like a
let's do it."
great idea.
I'm probably like everyone's worst enemy because I'm like, I get people going down these paths and then they either get shut down or not.
Well, I always tell the customers and our fan base and stuff, if it's something that you like or something you want to see, let us know. The more you talk about it, the more we'll hear it, and the more we'll put that into practice. So you guys are liking the strong female characters on our mugs and T-shirts, then I guess we'll do more, because if you like it, why wouldn't we continue to do something like that?
Let's do it.
Connie Hennigan asked, Mike, how do you ever find such an awesome group of employees? I'm curious about this answer too, Connie.
Well, initially I just hired people I liked, and then I hired people I needed, and then now we hire like friends of people that work here. We did that for a while, which is good because I mean, great people usually work or hang out with great people, I still kind of lean that way. Like if someone's like, hey, I worked with this person, I'm friends with this person, and they vouch for them, like I'm always like, all right, let's give them a shot. Sometimes it's a long interview process with tons of candidates, and that's probably my least favorite, but we've got some really great people going through that process as well. I don't know if I answered the question there.
I think you did.
All right.
I think you did. I think that's how.
Yeah, I mean, there's no one right way. Actually, I was reading this article in the Harvard Business Review, and it was about hiring and finding the right talent for your company. And it was talking about, what is the right way to do it, because companies are spending more money now than ever to bring like the right talent in to get the right teams. And it basically said what they're doing is wrong, which is basically like spending all this money on like these headhunters, all these like online things. But what it said was you should take an inventory of everyone who you've ever hired in your company and grade them, A, B, C, D.
Yep.
Or grade them however you want, maybe scale of 1 to 10. And then write how you found that person. And then kind of go back through the list, and you can I did it in Excel, and I could just sort the lists real easily. And I did find that the people who were recommendations or, friends of people who were recommended to the company, they did get the highest grades. But like I said, there were superstars in each way. We found employees, but at the same time, overall, it was like friends of friends.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're working with that person already, you kind of are like, I know how that works.
But it's probably different for every company. And if you own a company or in HR, you should give it a shot, because it was a interesting exercise that I did, and I learned a lot. I also found like there was a way where, man, we were like a big zero, and we had a few hires that way, and it was like, oh wow, I just recognized like, let's not hire people this way anymore.
Right. No, it's the truth, and it is a lot of trial and error, especially starting your own business. Kind of on this model, another question from the community. Scott Miller asked, how do you keep your employees motivated and instilling an atmosphere of team spirit?
I want to go back to that last question again real quick.
Oh,
sorry,
Scott, you gotta wait,
because it made me think about something.
All right.
In a leadership program that we're all in right now, with you've seen us going to these leadership meetings with Bill Martin. One of the things that he says that really resonated with me and I use it now during the interview process, is, see if you can ask the interviewee questions that help bring to light like how they see others. If they see good in others, you want to hire that person. If they're kind of cynical, or if you ask them like, hey, why'd you leave your last job, and they're like, the people were horrible, like that type of stuff, or you can ask questions like hint around that, probably shouldn't hire that guy. But if you hire people who see good in others and they come in every day and they're like, hey, Jeff, really like your shoes today, it's going to make you be like, oh, thanks a lot, I got some new shoes on. And you're probably going to say something nice to somebody else, and it just like that like positive mentality is going to spread. And that's what you need more in the office, because around here anyways, it's we're growing fast, and everyone's at capacity. Sometimes people have like their tempers are a little short, and I mean, it's nice to have some positive vibes going most of the time.
I think that's really good, and that's really interesting too, especially from the hiring side of it. So then, on Scott's point, how do you keep us motivated and instilling our team spirit?
I'm like so also in this leadership class, what we did at first is we pulled out our strengths and weaknesses, and apparently one of my big weaknesses is inspiring. So that's something I'm working on. So I don't think I inspire this team as much as I could or should, but I do know, I think the customers do, their reaction. Everyone that works here inspires each other in a way, and our small successes and our achievements, that helps fuel everyone's like excitement to come back to work again the next day. And so it's just it's not me, it's the customers and the products we put out, and the product, the coffee. That helps.
Yeah, no, for sure. No, I like that you're honest with it, and you know your strengths, your weaknesses.
Yeah, working on the weaknesses.
Yeah, of course. Okay, a couple more random, quick fire questions here. One from Instagram.
Is this the slowest quick fire question?
Yeah, right? No, well, we got good answers. One from Instagram from smwood2477. What was your go-to coffee drink before creating Deathwish Coffee? Did you have one?
Yeah, I mean, it was a light roast, believe it or not. It was Jockey Joe.
Yeah,
Saratoga Coffee Traders. That was kind of it's because I usually worked in the morning, and that was like my morning. I don't know. That was like my morning. First cup in the morning. Yep. And then late in the day, I'd switch to a darker roast. I don't know. That's just what I did.
All right.
Yep.
I'm sure I know the answer to this question because, like you said, with products before. But this has been asked by Wendy Calamia and probably 7 other different people. Is there any chance we'd ever go down the CBD coffee route, the cannabis-infused coffee route?
Any chance ever? I don't know. I can't answer that. But any chance soon? No,
right.
Not. And it's not even like in the near future. It's funny. I just had a conversation with my insurance guy yesterday, and he asked me that same question. He was like, "Do you have any plans on going down this?" And I'm like, "We've been approached by a lot of companies,
tons,
but now I'm just like really unsure about it right now." He's like, "Good." He's like, and he gave me like the whole like explanation on. It was actually kind of interesting, and I'll give you guys like the quick version. But he's like, right now it's still. The forms of CBD that are above a certain level in THC are still federally not legal. And if we were to sell that it would kind of go back on our insurance company where it would look like they were aiding and abetting some type of I don't know. He gave me some like.
It makes sense though.
Some type of explanation where it's just pretty much just like stay away from that for a while,
just for a little bit
until the Fed. And don't get me wrong, I'm not that familiar with the products that are out there right now.
It would be.
I don't even know like. I'm very like green there. I don't know what the benefits are.
He's very green there. I get it. Cannabis. I get it. I
didn't mean it like that. But I don't know all the benefits to it. And
I can say it from this perspective. It is such a new thing. It's not federally mandated yet, so I mean, we'd obviously want to wait for that, and we would do it if we ever were to go down that route. We would go down it the same way we do any other product ideation. We'd vet everything. We'd do our due diligence. We'd do our research, and we would, if that would ever happen, we would come to a conclusion where could this be a product that we'd be proud of, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Right. Here's one that came from a lot of different people and also our nature notes on Instagram. Now that DWCC is truly international, are we going to do more things internationally? Are we going to open up our sweepstakes internationally? Are we going to do golden tickets internationally? Are we going to do more countries available for the product? What are your plans internationally?
Yeah, that's all going to happen. It's going to be a slow rollout.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like we're going to... Yeah, the only reason because, we have to set up distribution centers in each of these countries that, we're going to offer all these like freebies and stuff in. And right now, it's difficult to do from the United States and make it affordable for our customers internationally.
But it is something we're thinking about a lot.
I talked about free domestic shipping earlier. I'm also going to do my best to open up distribution centers in, I'll probably start in Europe, Canada, Europe, probably then kind of move to Central America to drive the cost of shipping down internationally, because right now it's through the roof. And I mean, we already have a distribution center in the works in the UK, which we'll be able to
drop a lot.
Yeah, drop those shipping costs down, at least throughout Europe, dramatically.
That's exciting.
And that should happen probably in the next couple months.
That's really exciting.
Yeah.
And you know what? I mean, it is something we talk about it a lot. We talk about what can we do internationally more and more and more. And it's an upward battle. It's hard, but it's something that's constantly in the conversation. And I think that's
awesome. I mean, I just got back from the UK.
Yeah.
With CJ, there's just a lot of like paperwork and regulations and audits and I mean, it is what it is. It's business. I don't mind doing it. It's gonna make it better for everyone.
Good. The final question from the community is from somebody you might know, Scott Swedish.
I do know Scott. Yeah, Scott is the owner and manager. I think he's the manager still. He's definitely the owner of Saratoga Coffee Traders.
He says, "What really happened to my grill when I moved out of your house in Albany while taking a teaching job in Binghamton? And follow-up question, have you made enough money yet to replace it?"
So Scott lived with me for a while in Albany in my house, and he must have brought a grill over at some point, and he thinks I stole it or sold it or something. I don't know. But tell you what, I really don't know what happened to it. I don't even know what the grill looked like. It was so long ago. But yeah, Scott, if you want a grill, I'm sure there's one floating around the warehouse somewhere.
We can make it happen,
Just go
right?
grab it, yeah.
We'll cob job something together, and you can have a grill, Scott. We feel bad for you. Finally, at the end here, I wanted to touch on two fun topics that were brought.
No, it wasn't a grill. It was like a sweatshirt. I think he was like, I'm thinking grill.
A grill?
There was a sweatshirt that he thinks I stole of his, and I think I don't know. Maybe it's a sweatshirt too.
All right.
All I remember is a sweatshirt. I don't know how it happened, but I believe that, Scott, you're hearing it here first. That got thrown out the window.
Haha! Like an actual window?
Yeah, that got thrown out a window, but I can't remember why it got thrown out a window.
Oh, that's really funny. Anyway, I wanted to end this on two fun questions that actually came from our employees here. One of them being on the last episode that you were on, we were on pool duck watch. You were being inundated by this terrible duck that was terrorizing your poor dog Odin. It was terrorizing your pool. You were trying to figure out a way to get rid of the duck. We want an update. Is there an update on? Do you still have pool duck?
No pool duck, and didn't come back this year.
Did not come back.
My mom actually, she bought me this. It's like this owl, and the head spins. It's like a zombie.
Yeah.
And I put it outside my pool, and it kept the duck away. I don't know if it's the duck or I don't know if it's the plastic owl or what, but
that's excellent. Well, you're not dealing with pool duck anymore.
That's right.
And the final one that came up from the employees is that we all know, and I don't know if the community at large knows this, that you are what some people would call a prank master. You love your pranks. You love to prank people.
I do.
And the question was, what's the best prank you ever pulled?
Best prank I ever pulled was probably on Scott Swedish, going back to him again. Man, this was good. So like I said, he lived with me for a while when we were trying to, because he was the manager of the coffee shop when I owned it. So he lived with me for a while, and I think he got home from. Oh no, I was closing the store that day, the coffee shop. So I come home and he's in bed sleeping. So I had this fog machine, so I like fogged up the whole house where like you couldn't see like 10 feet in front of your eyes. It was there just dense fog, and it almost seemed like smoke. But anyways, I woke him up. I was like, Scott, and we had another guy that lived downstairs, another tenant. His name was Dan. I'm like, Scott, I think Dan left the oven on and house on fire. I'm like, and he woke up and just sheer panic in his eyes, and he just sprints out of the house so quick, runs downstairs, starts pounding on the downstairs door, wakes up Dan. I was like, Dan, the house is on fire. And then finally he realized, hey, it doesn't even smell like smoke. It's just like this fog machine. And
oh my
that was
God.
probably one of the better ones.
Oh my God. Well, I mean, it's always fun sometimes here at the office because you'll find something.
I don't know what
crazy.
I've done in the office. I think everyone else have done better things in the office.
The cat in the wall.
Cat in the wall was good.
That
had the whole. I wasted probably like thousands of man hours that day because I got this little noisemaker that sounded like a cat that I put in the ceiling, and everyone thought
drove me nuts.
Everyone thought there was a cat in the wall
because it couldn't find it. I couldn't find it, but it would meow every 5 minutes. I really was convinced that there was a poor animal in the wall for a little bit. That was really funny. But that's what's fun about working here because we work hard, but we make it fun to work too.
Yeah. We try to. I think we need to focus on that more, but I have fun.
Yeah, I know you do. Well, I had fun having you back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me again for the third time.
Yeah, third time's a charm, and it was really fun talking to you, and it's always fun getting updates on where we're going and, kind of what we're looking towards the future. And, next year I'll have you back.
Yeah, I'm going to think up some more pranks. So when we report on this next year, hopefully I'll have some good ones.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thanks a lot, Mike.
Thanks.
Excellent.
This has been Fueled by Deathcast, a Deathwish Coffee Company podcast production. Thanks for listening.